Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. This is an awesome crowd. I'm sure Bill's reputation brought you all out here tonight. That's fabulous. Jack is away, so you get me. I'm Sharon White. I'm the vice president for any of you who don't know me. Rick Shires is up there, our treasurer. We've got a few events coming up. Our most important thing is our April members show, our art show. So in order to participate, you have to be a member. Because we are so late in the year, membership has been reduced to $30 because
No, 15. It was
15.
30.
It was 30. It's down to 15.
We've only got a couple more meetings.
Yeah, we only have. So $15 for membership. To enter one piece, it's $20. $25 to enter two. Drop off is April 1st. Here, 4:30 to 5:30, and I will be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll be here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pickup is April 30th, also 4:30 to 5:30. Please make sure you pick up. If you can't be here 4:30 to 5:30, feel free to come a little earlier in the day or even the day before if you have to. We don't have a place to store any of your work and hold it for you. So it has to be removed by 5:30 on April 30th. Rosemary Morelli is going to be our judge, and instead of just having her judge and putting the ribbons on the paintings, we are going to actually present them at the meeting on April 8th. So April 8th, 7 o'clock, here will be our next, our association meeting. On April 2nd, Rick is doing a still life drawing workshop here from 6 to 8. All the supplies will be provided. There is a registration link on the Boyden Library calendar. It is limited, and there's 7 or so spaces left. So if you're interested, please go in and register. Let's see what else we have coming up. In May, on the 21st, Jack is doing a sort of little seminar on the art of selling art from 7 to 8:30. That is also here. Just for your planning, we tried this last year and it got rained out, so we are trying again, right? Okay. May 9th, which is the Saturday before Mother's Day. We are going to have plein air painting, a paint out at the home of Rick Shires. His home is a lovely home surrounded by gardens that everything will be in bloom. It should be lovely. We are hoping for good weather this time because unfortunately with the next day being Mother's Day, we can't schedule a rain date because
Oh, okay.
so the library is having, March is their art-themed month. They have a book club that is reading The Art Thief. So this art show here in the library now is to go along with that, and they have a whole month of activities. They're holding an art walk, which is a self-guided tour, but there is a map available to guide you to the art show here. There is a small gallery at the Marilyn Rodman Performing Arts Center. There is the Painted Fox Art Gallery, which is just an incredible place. If you haven't been there, you really have to. And then there is also art compliments of the Painted Fox Art Gallery at the new community center down the street. So please visit those places, enjoy some art for the month. At the art gallery, there is also a reception on the 21st. That's a Saturday from 2 to 4. 7 or 8 of our artists are going to be there. Just come, enjoy, view the art, chat with the artists, have a good time. There'll be some light refreshments. And for anyone who has children in your life, on the 28th from 2 to 4, we are going to do Kids Paint, Think Spring. Kids of all ages are welcome to come in with some help from the library. All of the supplies will be for free, so they'll have canvases and paintbrushes and acrylic paints, and there'll be some flowers set up. They can paint the flowers if they want, but they're kids, they can paint whatever they want. We did a similar event when we had Light Up the Town at Christmas time, and it was a huge success. The kids love it. They are so serious about it. It's freaking adorable. If anyone has little ones in their life, please feel free to come by. And I think that's everything. Member shows, paint out its wish. Oh, one last thing, which has been in the newsletter. I think there's only a couple of spots left, but Rick is doing Breakout Brushwork, a 4-day seminar in Vermont. It starts on August 31st through September 3rd. There are details about that in the newsletter, or Rick is right there if you want to ask him after our session here. And without further ado, you know that our demo artist tonight is Bill Lane. Bill exhibits his artwork at the Guild of Boston Artists, the Providence Art Club, the Rockport Art Association and Museum. He sent me a resume with awards and ribbons and notoriety, so all I can say is this guy's no joke, so pay attention and learn something, okay?
Jeez.
Bill, you're up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sharon. Neil, is this set? Is that good? Okay. Thank you very much for having me tonight. I'm going to do a watercolor demo. I already have it drawn because I knew you didn't want to watch me draw. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to come up and take a look at it right now before I start painting, just so you see what it looks like. Let me turn on the image too. So this was from a recent trip to Italy. We went in 2024, which was just the bomb. What a great time. Also, you're having a plein air event. All the paintings on that table there are mine, and they're all plein air. I hardly paint in the studio anymore. Most of my painting is either plein air or in the classroom as a demo. So, all right, so off we go. Because I paint outside all the time, I don't mind if you ask me questions. I don't mind if you come and stand right here. You may do whatever you'd like. So I want you to enjoy and maybe get something out of this. A little housekeeping. Sorry I didn't get this ready yet. Let's put this under here. Alrighty. I always start light to dark. I always start big brushes to small brushes. Especially in watercolor, a lot of people say, oh, I want to paint looser. Well, if you're starting with a little brush, let's take this one, and you're choked down here, you'll never paint loosely. This is just too tight. You got to hold it way back here with a big brush and go nuts. So I'm going to start with the sky and then work down these buildings. So here we go. I'm going to use a mop that actually I bought in Italy because the airline lost our luggage, so I had nothing with which to paint. So I'm going to put out some raw sienna. This is going to be kind of a cloudy sky with a little bit of blue in it. I am going to squeeze out some fresh paint.
Do you have a brand you recommend?
Do I have a brand, did you say?
Yes.
I usually use Winsor Newton paints, watercolors, professional, not Cotman. Don't ever buy Cotman, those are student grade. But this I used to use Winsor Newton raw sienna, but now I use Holbein. I just like it better. I'm going to put out some cobalt. And I'm going to put out some rose madder. And I'm going to build a couple of clouds first, and then put some blue sky around them. I don't have a lot of sky in here, so it's not really, not too much going on. All right, so let's get some. Let's put some clouds in. Too purple. More blue. Let's get some yellow in those clouds.
Is there a particular angle you put the painting at to keep it from dripping?
Actually, I hope it doesn't drip too much. I didn't bring anything to anything. So I like it pretty much like this. When I'm outside, I don't have it quite as steep as this because I have it steep like this tonight because I wanted you guys to be able to see what's going on. This sky is a little dense. I think I'm going to paper towel it just to. It's going to be a little too heavy. Even though in watercolor, I don't know how many people here. How many people here are watercolorists? Okay. In watercolor, it dries much lighter than you anticipate, but I can just knock that back a bit. That looks like a nice Italian sky. All right. I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to put my, I'm going to put some just base colors down as a wash. Raw sienna is a great color because all of Italy is raw sienna. So it's a good base color. I put in shadows later. I don't concern myself so much with shadows right now. Those buildings back there are, even though they're fairly yellow, but they're way back there, so we want to keep them subdued. So I'm going to put just a little blue on them. I'm going to get some burnt sienna. As a base, there's a bunch of color down in here. Now again, this is all going to dry way back, so I'm not really concerned about painting over things. I'm going to kind of work around these people a little bit. Now on this road, I want to, well, whatever it is, put a little bit of tone, but I'm going to keep it, I need that light coming down through the middle, so I want a very, very light wash. Lemon yellow for some shrubbery over here. Again, I'm just putting down a base coat, a base wash. Anybody, especially watercolorists, know of a painter named Alvaro Castanet? Oh my gosh. If you ever get a chance, go on YouTube or I have videos and stuff of him. He is a nut. and he's such a good painter, but he puts down these washes that are just crazy, and and you really don't know what's happening till the very end, and it all comes together. He's really, really a pleasure to watch. All right, I need this now to dry. I'm going to aid it by using my hair dryer. This is Saunders 300-pound rough. And there are a couple of them back there. You'll know they're like cardboard. They're the paintings that are on real stiff board or paper, but it's very, very, very stiff. Okay, I'm going to start working my way. I'm going to start at the tops of the buildings. They have these really dark, in the architecture, they have these like little overhangs, and you can see them in this photo, but you'll see them in a minute when I put them on here. I'm going to use burnt sienna with some ultramarine blue to get a nice dark. I have to be careful not to make them too dark, the ones that are far away. So I'm going to actually mix up some cobalt and some burnt sienna for sort of a little more of a gray. The ones that are, you know, further down, get that atmospheric perspective. Oh, I need my glasses, sorry. Get a little darker on these up here. I can't hear what you're saying, but I can hear you whispering. I'm going to show you guys a technique in watercolor. With a credit card, you can scrape away if you have a dark wash or a thick wash. There are these little ribs of wood up in here, and I can just easily whoops, I don't want to damage the paper. I can just knock them out a little bit. Like that. That's enough. I'm going back to my rose madder. Oh, excuse me, raw sienna. I'll just come in here and start getting these in.
So you're actually lifting the paint with the credit card?
Yes,
Okay.
I lift the paint with the credit card, but it should have been a little darker than that. You can just barely see what's going on there. I may have another opportunity down in here when it's darker, and I'll try to remember to show you that. So I had raw sienna right here, and I just put some quinacridone orange in here and just let it blend. This is something that watercolorists can do that nobody else can do. It's our secret. When I go out painting with all my oil painting buddies, and they're always like, "Well, we can't do that." Be very careful. We don't want much detail in those buildings. I'm just building up some layers for some shadows that are going to happen. oops, there's some awnings here that I'd kind of like to hold, but they're a long way away, so it doesn't really matter.
Bill, when you do your plein air painting, do you always take a picture, a photograph of the subject for reference, or?
I do for a couple of reasons. Number one, just as you're saying, I do it for reference so that by the time I have the drawing done, the light has changed so much that I can look at my photo and determine whether I like what it is now or I like it what it was then. You know what I mean? As far as the shadows and the light. The other thing, which is kind of cheating, but it's, hey, why not? We have it. Did you ask the question? Yeah. Normally, I like to do little thumbnail sketches so I can compose it. Now I can do it on the phone. It's so easy. Which is actually a lifesaver, because going out painting, usually we paint from the Providence Art Club, and it's all about lunch. So the faster I can go, the better. So. Okay, I'll just step away so in case you can't see. I'm just trying to build these buildings up from the back forward. I'm going to get into this church right now. I'm going to lean into a little more brown than the raw sienna. It's not, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, Sharon, where you said that Jack is going to talk about, he's going to lecture about how to sell your paintings? I'm coming. Man, that's a tough one. Boy, if he can crack that code, man. No detail. This brush is too small. I'm going to go to this bigger Skoda brush. Big brushes. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. I'm sorry, it's a slow process, so. And the best part happens at the end, always. When you put in the calligraphy and the jewelry. Oh, it's so much fun.
Do you always set up the same palette?
Yes, I do. I have the same basic colors. I can drill through them if you want me to, but I would suggest from my now I've only been teaching since I've retired, which is now about nine years or so, and I'm learning through my students that you should work with a limited palette all the time. Let me back up. A lot of my students come in with these plastic palettes that are enormous, and they have 58 colors on them, and they have no idea what they are. I have 3 blues. I have perylene green, which is the bomb. What a great color. Quinacridone orange. I have a couple of yellows, a couple of reds, and Earth-tone, the burnt sienna, and that's it. So what happens is I learn to work with these colors really well. They become my friends. Then I try something new and see what happens. So I know how they work together. I know how to mix them. So yes, I do have I do work with the same palette all the time. And
What was the green you mentioned?
It's called perylene green. And the only time I'm probably going to be able to use it is in this bush right here, but it is such a great color.
Who makes that? Parallel, if you like.
It is Winsor Newton.
Okay.
And it's right here.
And what are the perils of perylene?
The perils of perylene, it's very dark. It's a great dark color. But what happens if you put a cadmium yellow or cadmium lemon yellow, it comes back and you can get light out of it. It's just amazing. It's the only green I have. So I mix all my greens. All right, let's see. All right, while I'm coming down, actually, while you have me stopped, I'm going to put some cobalt blue out. I'm going to spritz the street a little bit and start putting in some of these shadows, some of these reflections coming down here. And I'm going to spritz it again and just let it go. I'm just looking to see if there's a towel around or something. I better put this down here just in case. Cool. I'm going to get over into this side. I'm going to sort of go backwards and go to the tops just as I was doing before. Nice glow you can get on this one.
Bill, once you finish the washes, is there a particular brush size that you prefer when adding these details?
No, there's not a particular size I use. This happens to be a 10. These brushes are called Escoda Perla. Escoda is the brand. They're from Spain. Perla is the model, and they're synthetic and they have terrific points. And the points hold for quite a while. Quite a while meaning, a year or two. But boy, when they go, let them go. Buy a new one, because the benefit of these is that that point that you can get. Even on this is a 20, and it still has a good point. So. Everyone fell asleep.
Nope.
That might be a little dark right there. I'm just gonna blot some of this out right there. A little bit more right there. Oops. I don't want that hard edge right there. That's better. Okay, those buildings in the background are, it's funny, when I was painting them, I thought there was plenty of value in them, but now there's hardly any value in them. So I'm going to get back into those. Let me get out of the way. These houses back here, they need a little bit more punch than what's going on there. They're very pale yellow, so I'm just going to go back to, I'm going to put a little lemon yellow, the hint of raw sienna.
So do all those gold tones have different levels of raw sienna in them with occasionally something else mixed in?
They do at the moment from this painting that I'm doing, yes. If you're asking about this painting?
Yes.
Yes, because that's my primary yellow that I use pretty much all the time. I've tried yellow ochre, and man, I just can't get it to work. And I was mentioning that artist Alvaro, he uses yellow ochre all the time, and I don't know how he does it. I got a building that's, I don't have to follow those colors exactly, but I do have a building that's kind of pink. So let's just throw some rose madder, a little cobalt in it. Building here. That's not very pink. Have to be careful because pink, really don't want a pink building in the background or a red building because it will draw your eye. So I'm going to start it, but now I'm going to add water to it and just let it be light. Let's just throw in some blue in this back here, this building. Some of this one too. All right. This is drying now, so now I can start putting in a couple of details over there. I'm going to kind of let this dry on that side. Everybody see okay?
Yes.
Okay. you want to move your chair over here? Because you're looking at my back.
I know. Well,
Here, I'll grab it.
pretty much everyone else can see because you're so close when you're painting, but.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, I'm just going to put in a little bit of detail, not much, not in these buildings way back there. Just actually, I don't even want that blue. I want a little more red. I'm trying to follow my perspective lines. I drew them in earlier. There are nice shadows in this, which is one reason why I really love this. These buildings are casting shadows over here, but I have to do those at the end because they go on top of whatever is that I'm, any of the detail. That's the last thing, one of the last things. My hand is in those. They're going to be all blurry. Let's do this. Just trying to indicate some of this architectural detail. I'm sorry, this is the boring part. Uh-oh, someone was pissed off. Thought I was going to learn something. Oh, this guy's a jerk.
Where are you teaching?
I'm sorry?
Where are you teaching?
Right now, I'm teaching a Monday morning class at the Providence Art Club, and I'm teaching a Thursday afternoon class at the Portsmouth Artists Guild. I paint with a guy named Sam Green, and the two of us are going to be doing workshops this summer. We're doing 4 workshops, one with the Westport Art Group in June, Wickford Art Association in July, Providence Art Club in August, and the Portsmouth Art Group again in September. That one's a great one. That's 3 days, and we'll probably be on Aquidneck Island or Jamestown or somewhere. Sam paints oil, I paint watercolor. We start our demo, we both do the exact same scene, so students can watch how he does it, how I do it, which is totally different. But and then you guys go paint, and then we have a crit, which is usually pretty hysterical, but it's fun. So.
He used to be the gallery director at the Rhode Island Watercolor Society.
Correct. Yep, he was.
Relatively young guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He still is pretty young.
Yeah.
And he goes to lunch with us and hears about all our old age crap we talk about. It's pretty funny. He's got 2 kids now.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Wow. That's great.
You said earlier that you advised your students to use a limited palette. Do you have other kind of basic tips for beginners?
Big brush to small brush, big shapes to small shapes. Get a solid drawing, and then hold your brush way back here to really keep your painting loose. Everybody always says, "Oh, I want to paint loose," and loose really comes from those key things.
Are your workshops for all levels?
Yes, but yes, with a caveat, and that is hopefully you've done some plein air, because you don't want to get out there with brand new equipment and be fumbling around. You really want to have some know-how with your equipment. I've been in workshops I've taught, and also been in that people come with brand new easels and they don't know how to set them up, and it just gets it gets really cumbersome, you know.
Is it better to have an old easel that you've never set up?
So were you always a watercolorist, or what?
No, I started. I painted as pretty young. I started when I was about 6 or 7 drawing, and then did oils right through high school, and then with a professional career, kind of that all went away. And I finally came back. I changed my job and came to Providence, so I started at the Rhode Island Watercolor Society, just running well, at first I took from a woman named Kay O'Connell. I don't know if anybody remembers Kay, but Kay, I don't want that. Kay was wonderful, wonderful lady. I started lessons with her in watercolor. I mean, I had dabbled with them as a teenager, but I kind of, didn't know what I was doing. And then, and then I ran a Monday night drop-in class at the Rhode Island Watercolor Society for years, till I got just so tired of that. And then I still, when you paint once a week, you're just stale. You just cannot get better. So when I retired, I really cranked it up, and That's been fun. And I'm always learning, always learning. All right, let's get these buildings on the other side. Let's get some details going so then we can, what time, does anybody know what time it is?
No.
It's almost 8.
Almost 8. What do we have to? What do we, 8:30?
I usually fall asleep at 8:30.
Okay, all right. See, some people are ahead of you already.
Right. But do you want to take a break real fast, Bill?
You got
and just let
40
people go
minutes.
I
up?
don't, but everybody can take a break and get up and walk around and do whatever you want to do. So.
If they just want to come up, just to
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going to use that Paraline green that everyone wants to see. There are some shutters and some details on this that actually do have some, they're sort of dark green. So I think I'll just throw a few in right there. The side of this building doesn't have these shutters here, but I'm putting them in because it needs it. So, you know, if you have the good fortune of someone buying your painting, chances are pretty good, especially this is Florence, Italy, pretty good that they're not going to take the painting with them and hold it up here and go, hey, those aren't green shutters. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use a square brush. It's not cheating. I'm just going to throw in these windows right here, which aren't even in there anyway, but it's so much easier to just do this. Just easily throw them in and don't look back. Whoops.
You're putting in some windows that are not there, but what are you consciously editing out?
I'm not putting every detail that's in this image. I can't possibly, you know. I don't want to either. It's already probably too tight as it is. But I haven't edited out too much. Not yet anyway. Let's just throw in a squeeze.
I need to stretch them.
Oops. Bill, what are you doing?
Where else did you go in Italy?
We went to a village called Piagaro, and there's a painting over there of a village. There may be two, and that was in Piagaro. But that question about what have you edited out, that was a good question. I've trying to just keep it as simple as possible. Oh, this church, I forgot about this. Okay. I like what's going on with the road. What I was talking about with calligraphy, that comes later. After this dries, we can put in some of these tile things, and you won't believe how that'll read so much differently, but I have to wait, have to be patient. So I'm going to put in this greenery, and then I'm going to start getting the people, and I still need to do something with the background. Let me do that first.
And when you decided to, when you chose this this photo.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about it that you liked?
I love city scenes that are looking down, you know, the perspective, the people, but probably more than anything, that wet pavement is just, I just get, you know, and for everybody, if you're looking for, you know, we all go through that, oh, what am I going to paint, you know. Go through your photos and just listen to yourself, because you'll hit that photo and you do that little in your brain. That's the one. That's what you do. When you're out plein air painting, it's the same thing. We walk around and that little like, ooh, that's good, you know. Chances are you'll see that one and then you'll walk around and you'll come back to that one. So first thought, best thought. Uh-oh, I don't remember what I have on my brush here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. All right, I can always come back to those later if I still don't like them. They're a little, that'll dry back, but I'm going to help it. That's a little dark, too dark. Let's leave that alone. Okay. Let me put in this green, and then we'll start getting these people in. I'm going to go to my Perylene green, but I'm also going to have some lemon ready to go. Actually, I'm going to put the lemon on first. And the lemon, it's not straight lemon because my brush has Perylene in it, so it's got a little, it's doing a few little tricks along here. Now I'm going to go to my Perylene and just drop it in, let it go play with itself.
Why did you switch from oil to watercolor?
I kind of was intrigued with watercolor. I don't know why. I still paint oil, just haven't painted in a long time. Now, this is a tough medium to get to know, and I feel like I'm getting there, so I'm kind of want to, you know, live this dream out. I'm just adding ultramarine into this blue just to try to get some shadows down here. Actually, you know what would be even better is alizarin crimson. And then there's a big dark pot underneath it. The pot is kind of a funky shape. I'm going to turn it into a normal shape because I'm afraid you're not going to be able to read it and understand what it is. So I'm using very thick paint, consistency of butter. And we'll give this some reflection and a shadow a little later. That bush is becoming a big blob, so I'm gonna help it along, give it some shape. We'll come back to that later. Let's start putting some people in. Let me clean my palette. Actually, I am going to let you take a break because I'm going to go change my water too. So.
How much water do you have to take with you when you paint plein air? You need
just
to clean your brushes. You need to.
I don't usually clean my brushes that often. Outside, I don't usually clean it. I never change my water, and it's usually like a. Peggy, what's a cup that's like this big? What would that be? Like a
Coffee cup.
You mean
9-ounce cup? I don't know.
1 cup is a measuring cup, so.
A little more than a cup of water. But I have an old orange juice container and I take that out with me. So I have plenty of water if I want to change it. All right, I'll be right back. Excuse me.
I'll just take a picture of you, Carl.
I want Alex to sound like me.
Can I keep going?
When I get back. I don't tend to do.
Oh, I can't. You can keep going. Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
I could do it, but it's not, not super interesting.
Not a lot, but I've taught up there. They've asked me to do a couple of workshops, so I've been up there. And I'm a member of the, you're fine. I'm a member of the Rockport Art Association and Museum.
Taking a member of workshops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That doesn't mean you have to be quiet, I'm just telling you.
And actually, while we get started again, so I have a question. This is an awesome turnout for one of our meetings. Did everybody come out just because they saw Bill in the announcement? Absolutely. Yes. All right, thank you, Bill.
The snow's melting too.
The snow is melting, it's daylight saving time.
Oh, who said that? Come on.
The reminder yesterday too was really.
The reminder helped.
Because a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then I'm like, oh, it's yesterday.
Takes a lot to get me off the sofa, Bill.
Well, Chris, I'm honored.
8 o'clock and I'll say, oh, no. Yes.
So Bill will be here next month.
Yeah.
My fee just went up.
Bill, do you use specific tools to get your perspective right, or have you done it so much you can just do it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The perspective, do you use any specific method or tools to get your perspective right? Or you've just done it so much you can do it?
This is going to sound real cocky, and I'm sorry. I learned perspective. This is what now I understand teaching adults. I learned perspective when I was 6 or 7.
Oh,
that made a huge difference, because now I try to teach perspective to my adult students and they just don't get it, and it's just so hard. So it just comes naturally, but I must have put my hand in something because I have it all over here, but it doesn't matter. It'll all work. But Sharon, that's a great question. It really is a good question.
So no special tool or anything to get that vantage point?
No. You know what it is? It's all seeing relationships. Even in this room, it's how big is that wall to this wall over here? What's that angle that's of that, and the angle to the ceiling? All that comes into play. So when I'm out, actually, even when I was doing this to the photo, I put my angle on here, and then I keep a stiff wrist and translate it to here, just to make sure I'm somewhat on the right path.
Bill, have you painted that painting before?
No.
Okay.
I painted something similar to this, but not this one.
Okay.
Long legs. Now they go all the way up. I'm using a lot of, I don't have black on my palette. I don't use black. I mix my blacks with one of 2 combinations. One is ultramarine and burnt sienna, which I've been doing on this whole painting. And the other one is perylene green and alizarin crimson. And that is the bomb. But the green can overtake, so I'm kind of, here we go. I just want to do this lady's pocketbook right here. She's got an over-the-shoulder bag right here, and then her pocketbook right there. I'm going to give her a shopping bag too. I'm going to give her a red shopping bag. Oh, she's kind of tall and skinny. Oh well.
Like the buildings.
Yeah. Now when this dries, this guy I'm painting right now, when he dries, he's got a big backpack on. I'm going to put that on. But I gotta let that dry a bit first. Also, I will go back with white gouache and bring out some highlights that I've lost in here. When you do figures, notice the pregnant pause. You can never make the head too small. What happens if you do your figures and the head is too big, they will look like a child, and more importantly, they'll look like a Martian. So you really have to be mindful of that. I'm sorry this is taking a little bit of time. I'm just trying to get these figures in here. Give him a red shirt. Okay, let me just get a couple more people in. It's 8:16. All right, hustle, hustle.
That is amazing how fast you're doing it.
Right, I know.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, but it's not fast enough. When you do, I've learned this from a couple of international artists. When you do figures walking, always do 1.5 legs. Because if you do both legs, they won't look like they're walking. But there's this crazy thing where if you just do 1.5, they look like they're moving. So. Just throw someone in here. Making this poor girl look like a football player.
Patriots. As long as it's the Patriots.
So she's going to be very upset when I tell you this, but my lovely bride is in the audience tonight. The lovely Peggy Lane.
I was saying this is my first.
Yes, she's never seen me
I've never
paint
gone to
before.
a demo and all this. He just leaves and comes home and.
Oh, my God. You should go to more.
Whoop. Got kind of a fat leg there. Oh, that's too bad. All right. All right, now I'm just going to throw in some figures in the background that are just nothing. They're just blops and dops and they'll probably read as people, which is just what I need. You know, Sharon, you were asking about perspective. One thing about a street scene is that if it's a flat street, when you're painting, if you're plein air painting or you take a picture, just about everybody's heads will be all in the same plane, almost straight across, because they're at your level, so they're all just about right here. And now again, it's a flat street, not a hill or whatever. Then what makes it work is that these figures are bigger than those figures back here, and that's what gives you that look and that perspective. Put that backpack in, and then you can get going. All right. Let's put that shadow in that I was talking about a long time ago, like last week, I think. And I want a big brush. I'm going to use cobalt. I'm going to put a little burnt sienna in it just to knock down the bite of cobalt. Just neutralize it a little bit. In watercolor, you can paint over what you've painted once. In other words, I'm doing this wash of this blue over everything over here, and it's working. It's not picking up the colors and so forth. But if I go over it again right now while it's wet, it has activated those colors underneath, so they'll all move. They'll all slide along with whatever it is I'm doing. So.
If you let it all dry again and you went over it again, would you be able to?
Yes, if you let it dry, you can then go over it, yes. And there isn't a shadow over here, but I'm gonna put one in. First of all, this is much darker. What's happening is that the light is hitting these buildings and they're bouncing back to those buildings. So it's kind of a false read. I'll leave it like that for now. Because I want to do this, the wet road, so you can see what I was talking about. And then I'll put some highlights on them and then we'll let it go. Let's make this, there, fine. Let's do that. I don't like that line. Good. Let's give these people some reflections. I'm going to use my cobalt with some burnt sienna.
Is that just water you're misting on there?
Yes, yep. It is just water. And it's not wet enough. That's better. Okay, what I really want to show you now, I'm going to have to dry this so it will work. Just two more things, and then you can go home. I want to show you putting that calligraphy in here, and I want to show you putting white highlights on them, which will change this dramatically. Maybe a little too much water. Some of the people got a little obscured. But I could go back later and clean them up. No, I'd be standing up. I just have a different easel. This is my plein air easel. I have a big easel at home. Okay, that should work. Just make sure. Yeah, okay. So I'll just take it doesn't matter which brush, just a fine brush, and then take a nice dark color, just some of that burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. This is going to be like the consistency of cream to butter. This particular street has the bricks are going at a funky angle. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do them more in perspective. And the secret is to minimize it. You don't want a lot of it, just a little bit of it. And I said that out loud so I'd remember. So. Oops. And then some cross. There's a curve over here. Some curving going here and here that I just have neglected. Oops. Now these blocks would, if they were blocks like as I'm painting them, they would get smaller and smaller as they receded away. And we'll do that. Let's get one more in here. All right, now I'll show you the secret weapon. The secret weapon is designer's gouache. This is titanium designer's gouache. And this is really nice because you can bring highlights back that you've lost in the people, like a little bit on their heads and a little on the shoulder.
Do you ever use Frisket?
No, I don't like it. I don't like what's left behind. You have a hard white edge and you have to deal with it, and so I don't use Frisket. But that's what you can. The other thing too is you can put a couple of these can be white in here. I'm just not a fan of Frisket, that's all. And if you were trying to be a true transparent watercolorist, that you can't, they'd frown upon using this titanium white. But you know what? Let them.
Who makes that one?
This is M. Graham. Gouache is, you can get gouache anywhere, you know, but you really want to get you want to get artist gouache, not designer's gouache. I don't even know if they make designer's gouache anymore, but artist gouache is a better gouache than designer's gouache. I better stop. It's 8:30. Okay, so there it is for now. So thank you all so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. So I'll turn it so it's more right up and down. So, what do you think?
Yeah. I just see you come on with them.
Well, I still have a long way to go. I kind of goofed a few things. So. Oh my God! I have a studio full of paintings.
They're usually two-sided, right?
Yeah, those are both. Ooh, sorry. All right, you wanna?
Talking to you.